Is PRS for Paul. Mr. Childerley dips his toe in the precision rifle shooting pond to see if it's for him.
It's incredibly accurate, this rifle as well.
Look at that hit. Look at that hit.
Is it centre punched?
Plus, Paul discovers long-range skills can help with his Chinese water deer cull too.
And it's proof that a long-range optic is also suitable for hunting.
Exporting missiles to the Gulf. We're in Saudi Arabia to see how British falcons compete under the desert sun and bright lights of an enormous purpose-built stadium. Deborah speaks to Professor Adam Hart about his new book promoting hunting as a conservation tool. Can his science drown out the antis?
For conservation to work, you need to be safeguarding communities, habitats and species, and trophy hunting can be one of the tools that provides that.
David brings you the news on the news stump. James Marchington has Hunting YouTube. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain from sunny South Africa.
Paul Childerley has a problem. The Chinese water deer are hammering the farmer's crops. Usually he can stalk close enough for a shot, but when they're feeding in the middle of a 100-acre field like this one, that's not so easy. If only he was able to shoot confidently out to 300, 400 yards or more. Well, he might just have found the answer. He's been tempted to take up precision rifle shooting, and today he's visited by Andy Simpson-Nix, who runs PRS in the UK. Not only that, he's got a fancy new Seiko S20 rifle, a box full of goodies, and the latest Zeiss LRP long-range scope. Andy is going to help him set it all up and teach him the tips and tricks he'll need for shooting at longer ranges.
I've always been a foxer, for instance. I do a lot of foxing, a lot of varmint shooting. But the crossover between the two, we'll call it disciplines, is quite good because, like I said, we predominantly shoot off something like this, which is a bag, and that will sit on top of it. Like I said, it might be a purpose-built stage. Drop your rifle down, find your targets. You then engage those targets, and it'd be under time constraint. But since I started shooting precision rifle, I find myself taking this out foxing because I can drop that on a fence post, and you'll be surprised how quick I can engage a fox from that rather than off the bonnet of a car or whatever it might be, because you can get onto it a lot quicker. So the crossover between the two is good. It's good fun. It's good fun.
It sounds a bit more my cup of tea, really, because it's a bit more action. So there's different stages, and they're shooting at different distances. So you're using your skill, not just the equipment. You're judging the wind. You're judging everything quite quick reactions. I'm quite erratic shooter or a quick shooter.
All that sort of stuff.
That's a stalking rifle.
Believe it or not, yeah.
You need a wow. So I think for me, it would suit me quite well, and it's something new. And it's not just sitting down and shooting at 500 and then 1,000. It's a lot of different positions. And I think it'd be good to meet a few people and maybe sell a bit of stalking. Business.
So this one is, we're dropping the new S3 onto this. We're going to go out to the range, we're going to zero it. We're going to get Paul engaging targets out to 400 or 500 yards and just sort of see how well this optic you can get a crossover between shooting target and shooting in a hunting scenario. I've taken mine stalking, the S3, and because you have that flexibility between the both, it makes it the ideal setup. So that's the challenge for today. We're going to get Paul onto the rifle, zeroed, shooting some gongs at distance, something I know he's done before, but in a first focal plane instance with the new S3.
So basically, that is obviously the perfect scope for it. Obviously, you've got a basic rifle there. It's not like your chassis rifle or anything else. That's obviously more of a in-between rifle.
Well, you say that. It's a 6.5, so this would actually drop straight into a factory class in precision rifle. I mean, it's a hell of a rifle. It's a Seiko, as I said. It's got some pedigree to it. Drop the optic on there, get the right ammunition, and you're away. Drop a muzzle brake on it.
That's the next thing, right?
You'd be blown away at the difference a muzzle brake makes. Yeah. It turns, when you fire, instead of having that muzzle flip that you're so used to, it's nothing.
So muzzle brake, ideal to have a 10-shot mag.
10 or 12, yep.
10 or 12?
Yeah, some stages are 12. So if you've got a couple of mags, you can switch them out.
Clip them up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Job done.
Right, tick, pimp it up, see how many bits and pieces we can put on it. It's quite interesting, actually, because I don't shoot a heavy rifle, whereas this job, you need a heavy rifle. I would take it, to be honest with you, at varmint shooting. Shooting things at long distance, you've got, foxes at a long distance on a bank somewhere. some crows, whatever else, something like that. Or even an awkward spot where you got some deer on some long fields where you can't get to. Again, you know, you have to take a bit further shots, so you probably use something like this rather than your conventional basic rifle you're taking out and shooting stuff up to like 150, 200. So yeah, it's got its place. I don't want to carry it all the time and use it all the time, but yeah, definitely one for the cabinet.
With Paul's new rifle all pimped up, it's off to the range to get it zeroed. Andy starts by bore sighting it for him.
Right, give that a crack, Paul. See how you get on with that, matey.
Rock and roll. Here we go. Let's go another inch up.
Inch up, yeah?
Yeah. Left, one click.
Back left, one click.
Bore sighted it, and we just zeroed it in to 100. So what we do now is we just go up to the top and see if we can hit some gongs.
Paul wants to try Andy's rifle first, starting with the steel target at 400 metres.
Zoom out a little bit, just give you a bit more field of view. Like that, probably. Just hold straight up and you should nail that. There you go.
Yeah.
You notice there's naffle recoil at this step.
How many do I hold out on the far one then?
On the far one,
490.
you'll need 2.8, so chuck another. That there. The far one, that should get you on roughly there. It's incredibly accurate, this rifle as well.
Look at that hit. Look at that hit.
Is it centre punched?
Just a little bit. Right, let's go back to those basics.
It's half the fun.
Right then, so here we go. Right, so we're at 0 to 100.
Cool.
Ish.
I would try about from here to that 400. I reckon you're going to be.
Let's work gently.
Let's work gently.
Let's do the 209 one. Come on.
So let's say you're probably about 3 MOA to get onto that, possibly.
How many?
3. So because we're on a field, I'd go at 2, and hopefully you shoot low. Then you can adjust from there.
2 clicks up, yeah.
So no, you're in
MOA.
quarter MOA clicks
Yeah.
there, so you need 8 clicks up.
Right, let's do
Right.
it. I'll take the time.
Fingers and ears.
This one to boom a bit, guys. Perfect.
That's nice and
Not too bad.
cool stuff.
Right, let's have a go at that furthest one now then. She's at the bottom of that last one, I reckon she wants to go up a bit. That's below. Yeah, it's below.
Below.
Yeah.
So come up one then.
Here we go.
There you go. Generally, as I say, we tend to run around the 16 mark on your zoom, so it's not actually overcrowded. And because it's got such a nice fine reticle on that, and the hash marks are laid out nicely, you don't actually get a busy reticle in your face when you're trying to look through it, which is, again, another big point on the LRP range, is that the reticle on it is quite possibly one of the best on the market because of the hash marks being in the right places, and they're nice and fine as well. You're not getting obstructed when you're looking through the optic. So.
It's a satisfying noise, isn't it?
The donk that comes back is very satisfactory.
And whenever you're pulling the trigger, you're happy, aren't you? So
absolutely.
Yeah, I'll try and get booked onto one when I'm not trying to.
When you're not trying to
shoot some
cull deer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, all good.
Fantastic.
Talking of culling deer, Paul has a job that needs doing, and Andy is keen to shoot his first Chinese water deer.
Right, Andy, so this is a field, okay? This is a 100-acre field. And the reason I brought you here is because obviously there's not many backstops.
Yeah.
So we've got to get in the right place. It'd be all off the sticks, obviously you need a bit of much as we can on the elevations with shooting downwards. And obviously you've got a nice small round.
Using an 87 grain Honda DV Max. So.
Perfect, ballistic tip.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not ideal for carcass damage.
No.
But the thing is, one of these Chinese, because they're so small, the front end, a lot of the time we use them for the dogs.
Yeah.
So we got the fillets and the back straps and the haunches are all fine. So just smack them in the front end, no stress at all. We do a massive loop. It's not going to be conventional stalking because we're doing a job. The farmer said to me, shoot 2 today, don't shoot 1. So basically you need some off the ground.
Yeah.
And as you see on a lot of the ground, there's plenty of
There's
baits.
plenty around, yeah.
So we want to get the numbers down a bit. So, yeah.
We don't have to look far for our first cull animal, but there's a bit of walking to get a safe backstop.
Just check all the perimeters before we go. Yep, we're all clear.
How far is that?
140.
First Chinese, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Wait a minute.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, very good. Yeah, young buck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Great.
That was a warm-up one. That was too close for you.
It was too close.
What we'll do now is we'll head out and we'll see if we can get one of these out on this top field here.
Yeah, cool.
Part of the field and see. We'll just ship across to them. There's 2 more out in that far field.
Yeah, I've just seen those.
I'm going to give it a little shake before we shoot it, because it might stand up. I think it will, but it definitely put his neck up straight. I'll give her a quick call, okay? Well done.
Hey, thank you very much, mate.
That's the first Chinese then?
Yeah, well,
Well done.
second.
Well done.
Second Chinese, yeah. So well done. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, 2 off his grain. So
Happy farmer.
happy farmer. And you see how difficult it is, isn't it? It's weird stalking. It's not like your normal hedgerow business. Obviously, we did the last little bit we did, but
It's a game of angles on this
is.
ground. It's a game of angles.
Yeah.
Finding the right spot, safe backstop.
exactly.
Check it because
Check the footpaths,
walkers,
yeah.
check the footpaths.
Yeah, and it's literally like that. You know, first thing I do, obviously, that's the right animal. Search around, check the footpaths, check the hedges, check everywhere, and it's we're clear.
Yeah.
Clear, bang, down, dead,
Yeah.
done. Everyone's happy.
And it's proof that a long range optic is also suitable for hunting.
It does.
Which is
Yeah.
exactly the whole point of
Yeah,
this
no,
optic.
definitely,
So, yeah, it does the job perfectly well.
Yeah. No,
Absolutely
very
perfect. Stunning, thank you very much.
good. Well, thank you.
No worries.
Top job.
Job done. Beautiful.
I think the scope's great. It's quite good because you can cross over, so you could have it for both disciplines with a bit of hunting, with the long distance stuff. It's great. It's got the first focal plane. It's got high magnification, which I like. I like to really crank it up and see what I'm shooting at. Yes, it does show your wobbles, but I like to see where I am with that. So great features, big turret, so you know, easy to dial in. Yeah, and it's actually quite compact. So it's not like a big long scope with big long bits and pieces. It's actually quite a nice compact scope. So yeah, all in all, actually, yeah, very impressed. And most important thing, it's good to look through. And the crosshair is good on it as well. Even though it's got a lot going on, you can really focus on the small cross, which I thought, you know, especially zeroing in, because it's got like a, obviously all the dials coming in, and you've got the tiny little cross in the middle. I clicked it on red, and do you know what? Focused it in, perfect. So yeah, I mean, it's great. It's good bit of kit, very impressed, and look forward to using it this year.
Follow the links below for more about the Zeiss LRP scope, Seiko rifles and PRS shooting, or track down the kit you want at kitfinder.co.uk.
Thank you, guys. And Paul will be at the British Shooting Show this weekend, as will we, with our stand made from sealing wax and string. It'll give you an opportunity to poke Packham. Join our growing band of Packham pokers. As you may know, Mr. Packham is suing us at the moment, so maybe we're doing something right. You can join up at the British shooting show on our stand, and you get an amazing goodie bag. You can join up now online and get a goodie box. Now, when I told David that I'd be in Africa this week and not in Somerset, where I live, he was naturally very upset. So here is my grumpy stand building sidekick, David, on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. The British Hound Sports Association has expelled the Avon Vale hunt after a video appeared to show members digging a fox from its den and throwing it to hounds. The BHSA disciplinary panel found it revealed serious breaches of its core principles and rules. The Wiltshire hunt has 14 days to respond to the findings. Police are also investigating the video clip. The BHSA made the decision after reviewing the video and hearing evidence from the joint masters, the acting chairman and the kennel huntsman of the hunt. In a statement, the BHSA said the panel were minded to permanently expel the hunt and its masters, huntsman and kennel huntsman from membership of the BHSA. It added, "This means it's likely the hunt would no longer be able to function."
It is only right that the regulatory authority has sanctioned those involved, but it highlights the importance of effective regulation to enable us to reassure the police, politicians and the public that this type of behaviour is incredibly rare and will not be tolerated. The Alliance has always been very clear that it promotes and supports legal hunting activity and campaigns for the legitimate use of dogs in wildlife management. But we fiercely condemn these actions, which are clearly neither of those things.
The RSPB has received £250,000 for training a ratter. The 3-year-old working Cocker Spaniel, a breed best known for birds, not rats, is said to be the UK's first conservation detection dog, and the press lapped it up. Jinx has been training with the RSPB for 2 years and will be used on islands around Wales to sniff out brown rats. No one reports what happens to the rats. The Welsh Government has provided £250,000 as part of the 2-year Biosecurity for Wales project, funded by the Nature Network Fund. The aim is to protect seabird colonies from predators. New tests by Basque reveal that lead alternative airgun pellets are not always suitable. Basque carried out the tests on alternative ammunition as part of its response to the Health and Safety Executive's consultation on banning lead in shooting. The tests reveal that good game handling practices with airguns means it's unnecessary to replace lead. Also, the alternatives aren't cost effective for many shooters. Basque says it's fighting to prevent new restrictions which could cripple the sector.
Ultimately, airguns are quite expensive. We have 4 million airgun owners in the UK with around 6 million airguns. If they had to be replaced, it would be terrible. It would have a negative impact on pest control. We understand that the pellets for accuracy testing and penetration testing are not suitable currently for live quarry shooting, and therefore it would have a massive impact on the rural and shooting community.
Shooting, angling and equestrian activities have been excluded from the National Recreational Strategy. The House of Lords has been debating the National Plan for Sport, Health and Wellbeing. The Countryside Alliance, the Angling Trust, the British Horse Society and the Pony Club have submitted evidence to the inquiry. The groups are calling for the government to address what they believe are the shortcomings of the report. They say the government must not repeat the mistake when taking action to improve physical activity and sport in its broadest sense. The Countryside Alliance says shooting is vital for the rural economy and ensures the economic survival of many communities. SABS have launched a blistering attack on a vegan market because it was hosting the RSPB and the WWF. The Derby hunt saboteurs took to social media to criticise organisers. It released a statement saying the Derby vegan market had 2 questionable stallholders at a supposedly vegan event. The World Wildlife Fund was founded in 1961 by a group of wealthy trophy hunters. They still endorse the killing of wild animals. It also said the RSPB employs blood sports enthusiasts to kill wildlife. In 1 year, they killed 598 foxes. In a separate post, the saboteur group revealed the home address of the director of the company hosting the event, Vegan Market Co., claiming it was a livestock farm which raises cattle, goats and sheep. The Twitter account of an American senator has been shut down after he posted a hunting picture. Senator Daines is a vocal supporter of the Second Amendment and hunting rights. He received a notification saying his account was locked for displaying graphic violence. His account was unlocked after Elon Musk reached out to Mr. Daines. The senator released a statement saying he's glad Musk recognises that free speech is the bedrock of our country. Thank you to James Snyder for the story. Researchers in Norway are tagging wild boar. The Norwegian Institute for Nature Research has attached a GPS to an animal, which will be the first of many. The aim is to get a better understanding of where wild boar live. The goal is to be better prepared for any outbreaks of African swine fever. Scientists are appealing to hunters not to shoot the tagged boar. Thanks to Per Holmseth for the story. More than 50,000 hunters and shooters from across the world will soon descend on Nashville, Tennessee for the Safari Club International Convention. People will arrive from 180 local chapters for the event, which starts on February the 22nd. They will raise millions of dollars for conservation efforts around the globe, where money from foreign hunters helps protect species and their habitats. Visitors to the Nashville Music City Centre will include leaders of African nations, biologists and university wildlife researchers. The convention will also feature the work of wildlife artists, taxidermy displays and a huge range of firearms. And finally, Her Royal Highness Sophie, Countess of Wessex, has been showing off her shooting skills at a military competition. She was captured taking part in clay pigeon shooting at the Gibraltar Barracks in Blackwater. Her Royal Highness was dressed in khaki as she showed off her shooting skills with the rest of the soldiers who were participating in the Countess of Wessex Cup, which is named in her honour. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts, and come and see us on stand C12 at the British Shooting Show this coming weekend.
Buying shooting kits? Then head to Kit Finder and our team will help you find the right product at a fair price from dealers all over the UK. Kit Finder, the shooting kit comparison website.
Thank you, David. Later in the show, Professor Adam Hart does the science. Next up, it is that multi-million-dollar falconry stadium. It's a stadium fit for a king. In fact, it was built in honour of one and in celebration of a Saudi Arabian passion and obsession, falconry.
It's a big thing for us. It's our culture and we love it so much. You can see the love, yeah?
The reason for us being here is to record a first. A British team invited to the Gulf to showcase a new style of falconry racing developed in the UK.
So we've got 19 falcons. I think there's about 15 or 16 of us flying or piloting. So yeah, it should be a good day. It should be quite an exciting day anyway. It's really windy today, which will help the falcons go up, and we should see some dramatic tail chasers and dog fights. Yep. So yeah, it should be good fun.
Yeah.
Falconer and breeder Nick Fox created the UK format with hunting at its heart. Together with Dutch engineer Remy, they've developed a pursuit style of race with a drone prey bird.
The idea is the horn goes, we race to 120. As soon as we hit 120 metres, then another horn goes. We stoop, and as soon as the falcon hits 30 metres, another horn will sound. Then we've got 30 seconds with a dogfight, so we've got to evade the falcon. Once the 30 seconds is up, another horn sounds, and we have to land in the arena. If we land outside the arena, we face time penalties, or if we get caught before the final horn, then we're disqualified. So yeah, it can be a little bit hairy at times for sure. It's all about climbing and how quickly you can stoop. Climb to 120 metres in less than a minute, then you're in a chance of winning.
The UK format is very different to that of traditional Saudi falcon racing. This is all about straight line speed, a point-to-point sprint over 400 metres, all televised, all with enthusiastic commentary, all with match of the day post-match analysis, and all for big money and status. Back to the desert, just down the road from the stadium, and the guys are preparing to compete. Henry works with Roy Lupton, who should have been here too but couldn't make it. So Henry is flying his own birds as well as Roy's with team vet Tom. He has been keenly following the development of the robotic prey, not just for racing purposes.
We use these models in veterinary medicine for rehabilitation of wild injured raptors. That's where my interest in the roe prey first came, rehabilitating wild injured peregrines, and they're fantastic. I think they offer so many options for getting wild injured birds fit, and watching these really well-conditioned birds fly on it and showing the levels of fitness that can be created is fantastic.
And you think the Saudis are looking at this with interest?
I think they are. They seem really excited by it. They see it as a really good tool to keep their birds fit and healthy. So yeah, they certainly seem to be showing interest. I think we had some Saudi falconers birds flying on the models only yesterday, catching on the first day. They're showing enthusiasm.
The Brits are actually competing against each other for prizes, giving a true representation of what an event would look like if it were adopted by the Saudis. The reason it is all happening in the desert away from the stadium is there is too much tech in and around it, and the drones don't like it. However, that's not going to stop Remy, who has been challenged to fly the drone inside the viewing gallery.
Do you actually fly birds at all?
No,
Okay,
no. Apart from this one. Yeah, exactly.
You do it very well.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm trying to. If you fly them enough, you become quite good at it, I think. And it's with everyone who's trying to fly with these models. It's just a matter of practicing.
Okay. Right, come on then. Throw the gauntlets down.
All right, yeah. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Why not?
Flown indoors before?
Yeah, a bit, but it's quite scary, I have to say. Oh man, oh, God, it's really, all the wires are getting really close.
So cool. So we haven't actually got permission for this, have we? We're just giving it a go.
Exactly.
Very cool.
We had to.
The complex doesn't just boast a stadium, conference and exhibition halls. There's also a falconry hospital. Tom and the guys are given a tour of the facility.
So it's all very similar to our bones, but slightly modified for flight. It's a really nice facility. It's very well equipped. It's nicely laid out as well. It seems like it flows quite nicely. So they're very fortunate, and I think with the number of birds that are going to be coming through here with racing, auctions, it's really important to have a facility such as this to be able to take good care. These are high performance animals. It's no different to vets in Newmarket. We need this sort of veterinary facility for where lots of birds are going to be raced and competed.
After our tour, we're treated to some Saudi hospitality. Our host Mohammed loves his falconry, and tomorrow he's in with a chance of winning his category and with one of Nick's birds. The following day, the UK competition starts. The flights provide the perfect spectacle for the Saudi falconers to come and watch and get involved.
We can do an easy one to start with, just very easy if you want.
Yeah, he wants ascending.
Yeah, just very gentle, sway, and catch, and maybe another time. Yeah. A number have arrived tonight. There's another falcon just coming, but I don't know how well, because I've never seen any of these falcons before. So, probably a mixed bag.
Okay. You're being generous maybe. I don't know, who knows?
Well, who knows? This is an adult peregrine female. Powerful bird. She just needs a little bit more practice. She knows to chase, but she's unsure about catching a strange object.
How long does it take a bird to actually...
Oh, some of them will do it straight away.
Okay.
Yeah.
To ensure the birds are all achieving the required heights for the competition, the guys use Marshall GPS equipment.
118, 120.
These days, it's more than just a means of locating a lost bird. It's a performance indicator.
The new technology, which is GPS,
has sort of revolutionised the way that we see these things, because it's not just a tracking tool anymore. We're able to look at speeds, distances, heights. It's really beneficial for us as falconers. We can see if the bird is progressing, if she's getting better in what we want her to do, whether that's go up faster or come down faster. Just like a dog has a leash, a falcon has a GPS system.
Yeah. Chris, have you enjoyed yourself?
Oh, I loved it. Saudi's an amazing place with an amazing culture and some amazing people. It's nice to see the flat racing, and obviously we've been out with the hunt racing. Any day in the desert, any day in the sun when it's December and -5 back at home is a really wonderful day. So
try not to look smug, okay?
No, yeah. And any day we get to be with our falcons is a brilliant day for sure.
In the stadium, the excitement is building. Mohammed has put in a fast time, and he and his team are watching the last competitor's sprint. It's a great result for Mohammed and the British breeders.
Very excited. That was fortunately one of our falcons we bred this year, so it was a little German male that was bred from the top section in our facility. To see it here, absolutely smash it in the races is fantastic for us, and yeah, all the hard work is worth it in the end. It's really, really
so that
good.
Was this season's bird, is it?
Yeah, he probably hatched April, May time, so yeah, he's only really this year's falcon. He was shipped out here in middle of August, so yeah, he's only been here a few months really, and he's already absolutely flying like a champion.
So it's a big thing, it's a final, it's the King Cup, it's not something normal, you know? It's like reaching the top in racing. That's why I freaked out. Yeah.
But is it normal? The Saudis, I mean, this is
Yeah.
a very controlled sort of guy.
This is racing. If the race, there is no emotions, there is no fun, it will be silent. Silence is not good. You cannot just race with, okay, I won.
Back in the desert, the Saudis have come and seen the kit and the skills required for themselves. Now they need to start training their birds to power up instead of across. With the event over, it's the prize giving. Henry and Tom are happy with their win.
Very proud.
We are winner of the Jersey category, so we are very proud.
Yep, nice bird, well bred. So good bird.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
And there is endorsement from the organisers and the competitors.
It's something new, but maybe next year we'll compete against you guys. In your race. Yeah, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah?
So what about your remote control skills?
No, it's okay, you'll see. You'll see it.
You have a plan.
I remember
you have like a 12-year-old son that's really
no, maybe I'll do it with the falcon and flying with one hand. You don't know. So next year we'll see. Okay. I'll win you there and here. I wish you good luck, man.
We know that the Saudis take their falcon racing seriously. The closing ceremony, complete with a Saudi prince handing out prizes and his congratulations, are a true spectacle. Remember, this is not X Factor, this is falconry. The British falconry team flew here to impress and excite the Saudis about their style of racing. They've done that, and they've been a small part in a celebration of falconry, fit for a king. For more information about falconry in Saudi, go to the Saudi Falcon Club. To learn more about the Roe Falconry kit and all the different types of prey bird models available, go to rowfalconry.com. And to keep up to date with falconry racing in the UK, look up Vowley Falcon Racing on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you to the British team, and I hope the Saudis get behind British hunt racing. Now, Deborah Hadfield has been talking to Professor Adam Hart about why hunting is good for nature.
On the hunt in Africa, Ed Sargent is a new hunter out for his first stalk.
Good, a bit of a dry run. We saw a small group of springboks, so we followed them, but they just kept on moving, and we didn't have a shot on the ram we were after. So good to get the heart pumping, try and get that out of our system. But no, it was a good first walk, and yeah, the sun is only getting hotter.
Hunting tourists like Ed are essential for communities that rely on the income, but antis would ban these kind of trips. Professor Adam Hart is one of the few academics brave enough to speak up for hunting tourism. He's exploring the issues in depth in a book he's writing with Dr. Nikolai Bichel from the University of Oxford.
There's so much misunderstood about it, and so much sort of, misinformation, disinformation, counter-information. So what we wanted to do was really provide at least an underpinning of what trophy hunting actually is, how it's developed historically, what the ethical and philosophical implications of it are, how different hunting trophy sort of measurements are taken, and so on. So it's a real kind of sort of rags to riches, no sort of prehistory right the way through to modern day analysis of what trophy hunting actually means.
Ed soon finds out that the reality of hunting in Africa is hard work, and it doesn't always go to plan.
We've sort of done about 2.5 hour stalk, and we've gone in a bit of a loop, and unfortunately we just lost the wind, and then we were trying to sort of pepper pot into bushes and stay out of his wind, but no, he's sort of, I think he's a little bit spooked now, and it's gone midday here, so we're just going to get out of the sun, let him settle down a bit, and yeah, hopefully have another chance after lunch. But I think I certainly need a bit of water now, and let the heart rate settle down a bit. But it's good fun, enjoying it.
Adam is hoping his book will help share the truth of how vital trophy hunting is.
A lot of nations looking at trophy hunting bans. We see a lot of talk about import bans, and we see a lot of talk about trophy hunting as an activity. But what we don't often see actually is a lot of understanding about what that activity is, or a lot of understanding about how it fits in to a broader picture, both geographically and historically. So I think it's a really useful time to be looking at some of this in more depth and bringing together some of these threads and actually providing a bit more of a synthesis about what trophy hunting is, trying to provide a bit of light, I suppose, as well as the heat that we see out there in the media about it.
For the teams supporting Ed on his hunting adventure, the income helps their families and communities.
A lot of nations use trophy hunting as part of their conservation toolkit, and for them it's a very important component of that. For a number of reasons, it basically makes land more valuable as wildlife land than as other land uses. So by giving value to the wildlife, it can mean that you don't get so much agricultural encroachment, for example, but it can also provide livelihoods for local communities. So it is a way of safeguarding, for conservation to work, you need to be safeguarding communities, habitats and species, and trophy hunting can be one of the tools that provides that.
Antis are opposed to trophy hunting, but Adam says this is because they don't appreciate its full role.
You see a dead animal and it feels like there's a pointlessness to it, and once you magnify that with a perception of suffering and so on, you end up with a situation that many people are very emotionally invested in. The problem is you do need to look beyond that. If you go on holiday to some of these areas and you stay in a tourist lodge that's not a hunting lodge, and you sit down at your dinner table and you order some game meat from the braai, that will have been shot. If you're in an area where a particular animal might be considered to be an agricultural pest, then they will be controlled, just as they are in the UK.
Ed finally bags his animal, a springbok.
Turned our attention to the springbok, and Richard got me into a pretty good position earlier, but I think just the adrenaline and nerves got the better of me, and I just shot low, clean miss. So we scooted round, and then short stalk, and a bit less hesitation, I think, and took the shot, and he's down, so we're just going to give him a minute or two, and then we'll go and pick him up.
Adam is hoping his book can also hit the target by sharing the facts about trophy hunting, but he admits it may also attract criticism from Antis for himself and his co-writer.
The debate's incredibly toxic in the public sphere, in the media. It's a toxic debate. It's become an extremely polarised and divisive debate, such that me simply saying that in some areas trophy hunting provides a conservation benefit, that's an absolutely irrefutable point. That it can provide benefits to communities, again, it can, and it does in some places. Simply saying that labels me as pro-trophy hunting, and I'm not pro-trophy hunting, actually. You can ban it tomorrow for all I care. I'm pro-evidence-based conservation, and I'm pro approaches which are sympathetic and supportive of local communities, and which have conservation outcomes that are positive at the end of them.
For Ed, the day has been worth all the effort.
Made my shot, and the springbok came down, and we got what we wanted, so a good result.
If trips that include trophy hunting like Ed's are banned, Adam believes the consequences will be devastating.
The overriding message actually from members of the scientific community about trophy hunting bans is, great, whatever, but what's going to happen? How are you going to replace that valuable revenue and that valuable valuing of wildlife land? How is that going to be replaced? And I've asked a number of people who are vocal about banning trophy hunting what their solution is, and they either don't have one or they say that the solution won't happen unless it's banned. And that to me is a risk, a very risky way to go about doing things. And I would suggest actually a risk that's taken by people that have never actually experienced the environments that they're talking about, and possibly have no real idea about some of the bigger ecological issues they're talking about. Because if you do, and you really care about those areas, I don't believe that you'll be willing to take that risk based on the evidence we have right now.
The book, Trophy Hunting, will be out later this spring.
Thank you, Adam. Now from Africa to the wider world of hunting and shooting on YouTube with James Marchington. It is Hunting YouTube.
This is Hunting YouTube, which aims to show the best hunting and shooting videos that YouTube has to offer. First up this week, Terry from Mojo TV is on the banks of the Zambezi shooting crocodiles. They cut one open to see what it's been eating. Canada in the Rough is taking a competition winner hunting for black bear in Newfoundland. Job done, Kevin goes on to take a huge moose. Meanwhile, it's opening day of the turkey hunting season, and Just Hunt Club are using calls and decoys to bring the birds into range. Back to the UK, and Yorkshire Fieldsports is out ratting now that the game season's over. They're introducing a couple of pups who soon take to the job like ducks to water. Shane Brennan returns to Lambay Island in the Irish Sea for a day walking up pheasants over the dogs in stunning scenery. Moocher's Waves is out in the woods after squirrels using a 410 shotgun and with his phone strapped to his head to capture all the action. Predator Protection UK is also after squirrels. He's been asked to shoot some for Jess, who's just been on a taxidermy course and needs something to practice on. And finally, here's a lovely film of a couple teaching their grandson how to hunt, covering everything from tracking to shooting a rifle and preparing a Canada goose for the pot. That's it for this week. We've put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the I symbol top right or check this film's description. If you have a YouTube film you'd like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email Charlie the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv.
Well, that's it for this week. If you haven't done so already, please whiz over to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, where you can click to like us on Facebook and on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, pop your email address into our register page on our website, and we'll contact you about this show. Fieldsports Britain is at 7 PM UK time every Wednesday, and this has been Fieldsports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.